With us now is Joel Benson, the creator of Daughters of Chibok. Joel, thanks so much for taking the time. We're very thrilled to have you on board for our VRHAM virtual festival in our program. And we would like to ask you a few questions to understand more about the experience that you created and also the political and social background. So how and when did you find this story and chose to share it with your audience?
Okay, so thanks for having me again. On April 14th, 2014, 276 girls were kidnapped from a school in Chibok, in Nigeria, northeast Nigeria. And when that happened, the whole world was shocked. We had never seen anything like that before in the country. And obviously there was a lot of conflicting reports about what happened. There was also a lot of denial on the side of the government. So as a storyteller, I was always curious. I wanted to find out more about this story, but I couldn't go because, you know, Chibok is really far. It's in a remote part of the country and it's kind of high risk as well. But last year, in January of 2019, 5 years later, I had an opportunity to visit Chibok while I was making another documentary. And there I met the people, I met the women, because that was my first, I just wanted to say, hey, look, where are these women? Where are the mothers of these girls? And I met one of them, Yana, and we spoke, we spent some time together. And after the meeting, I decided I was gonna make a documentary about the life of these women and what they've been going through for the past 5 years.
Mm. And why did you choose to do it in VR or as a 360 film and not as a conventional filmmaking documentary?
Yeah, that's a good question because when I was in Chibok, I was making another documentary, like I said, regular 2D. But after speaking to her, the question was, how do we tell this story? And one of the things that I've noticed or that I've said about VR is that it has the ability to take you to places that you ordinarily would not be able to get access to. Yeah. And Chibok is one of such places. It's remote, it's high risk to go there. Not very many people can get access to go there, but we can take them there with virtual reality. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take people to Chibok to see what I had seen, experience what I had experienced, you know, just almost as if they're there. There's no better medium to use than 360 VR, and that's what we decided to use.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's one of the most powerful examples. And what is very interesting to hear, and I would like to hear more about this from you, what is the impact this VR experience actually made, both on the women, but also on you as a filmmaker?
Yeah, well, I mean, Daughters of Chibok is one of those projects that changes your life as a filmmaker, really, because originally the intention was just make the film, raise some money for the women so that they can go back to their farms and just, you know, continue with their lives just a little bit better. We didn't know it was going to go that far. So next thing you know, we're in Venice, and you know, I'm holding the Venice Lion in my hands as a winner, which was very surprising, unexpected. But beyond that, we were now able to, immediately we came back to Nigeria, we were able to, as a result of, you know, the press that came, you know, with the film and the support, we were able to take Kiana to New York, where she attended the United Nations General Assembly last year. She met with the UN Under Secretary General. She met with the Executive Secretary of UN Women. She met with officials from Facebook, from TED, from different organizations. She was on CNN, and so much love, so much support for her from a lot of quarters. And when we came back to Nigeria, we were able to also, as a result of the support as well, get people to support her community. So one of the biggest support that she received was the woman who said, hey, look, after seeing the film, she said to me, do they have power in Chibok? And I said, no, they don't have power. They've not had power in 10 years. And she said, okay, we're gonna give them power. And she was able to donate portable solar kits. And we were able to power about 120 homes of these women. And we targeted homes of the women who who have young kids that are still in school. And for us, it was really symbolic because The kidnap of these girls 5 years ago or 6 years ago now was a statement by Boko Haram to say that women and girls should not be educated. And so our response was to do this and say, we will support the women who want to send their kids to school. We will continue to support them so that their kids can get an education, especially the girls. So that's been really remarkable. We're also supporting them to get back on their farms. The farming season is about to start in a couple of months. And so we're really working hard to raise funds so that we can support each of the women in some little way, just so that they can feel that the world hasn't moved on and forgotten them.
Okay. We're very, very honored to show your piece in our VRAM virtual edition this year. And we have talked for quite a long time already now, bringing you over, bringing actually Jana over to Hamburg. We wanted her to speak in front of audiences here. Now, due to the Corona crisis, this won't happen, unfortunately, but we're very happy to have you in the virtual version of our festival. Can you tell us a little about what you think the difference will be for you as an artist, but also for the visitors to experience this in a virtual version instead of in a physical festival?
Yeah, well, I mean, so there are two sides to this. On the one hand, I will miss being able to, give you a high five, give you a hug and say, hey man, what's up, how's it going? I will miss the human contact of being able to just sit over a drink and talk about the film and talk about projects and all of that. But on the flip side, what you're doing with VRAM is a testament to the ingenuity of the human mind and how, as humans, we can pretty much, whatever we set our minds to do, we can actually pull it. I mean, you could have easily just conveniently said, it's fine, there's a lockdown, let's move this till next year. Well, you're going ahead and you're doing it virtually. And I find that very, very inspiring. And I'm actually very curious. I want to see how this turns out. I can't wait to wear my headset and join you from Lagos, Nigeria. But that's the beauty of it, virtual reality. Can you imagine a virtual reality conference? So you're having a virtual reality film playing in a virtual reality festival. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
Can't wait to see you in our virtual venue and to welcome you for our award show. Thank you so much for your time. That was really amazing. And see you very soon. And hi to Lagos. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.